What's going on, growers? It's James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey. It is mid-November here, and today we're going to be harvesting our last fruit from the food forest. It's been an amazing year, bigger harvest than we've ever had, and this is going to be the perfect way to end it. Let's go! Our last fruit to harvest of the season is the persimmon. When it comes to persimmons, there's two different categories basically. You have astringent and non-astringent. If you don't know what astringent means, it's that chalky sensation you get in your mouth when you eat something like a persimmon or other things that have tannins in them. They store these tannins in the bark, in the leaves, and even in the fruit. So if you eat a persimmon when it's not ripe, if it's one of the astringent varieties, then you're gonna get that chalkiness in your mouth. So the astringent varieties are gonna be your American persimmons, and your non-astringent one are gonna be your Japanese persimmons. Your Japanese, or more correctly, your Asian persimmons, these are going to be the non-astringent ones. You can eat these persimmons when they're still hard. You don't have to wait for a frost to soften them. They've got kind of like a sweet cucumber flavor. They're going to be less winter hardy. Also, they only grow in about zone 7 to 10. As you can hear, Tuck's having fun with the chickens in the back. But if you want to see a video on the non-astringent ones, then I've got a video on my channel about those. And again, those ones are less winter hardy and ones you can eat when they're still hard. On the other hand, we have our astringent variety, the American persimmon. This one's going to grow native throughout much of the East Coast. I have them growing locally to me, but they really don't taste that good unless they're completely jelly, completely soft. That's how this variety is right here, although it's not completely an American persimmon. It's actually a hybrid between the two, which I'll get more into. But your astringent varieties, the American ones, these are going to get much bigger, 15 to 20 feet tall. They're also much more winter hardy. They'll grow in zones about 5 to 10. And that brings us to the variety we're going to be going over today, the one right in front of me. This is called the Nikitas Gift. So this is actually a hybrid, a combination between the American persimmon and the Asian persimmon. So it's actually an astringent one, but it's I think a little tastier than one of your typical Native American ones. It's actually a lot larger than those, as you can see. Good sized fruit, but this variety you're gonna have to wait for them to get super, super soft, even jelly-like. So even when you have one like this, it's kind of still hard. This isn't ripe yet. What we would have to do is bring this inside or just give it time for it to ripen all the way. When they're fully ripe, this calyx part right here will just peel off easily. So when they're not ripe, it won't really come off. But when they're fully ripe, this calyx, which is this top part where the flower unfolds from, that'll come out easily. So I picked a couple the other day. I'll open those up, show you what they look like, have a taste of those. And let me just say a few more things about this tree. This is gonna be, get to the size of about 10 to 12 feet. So it's gonna stay relatively small, which is nice and convenient. A great tree to have in your garden. This thing likes full sun, but it will also grow in partial shade, which is convenient. This variety is gonna be hardy to about -10 degrees also. So it's gonna be able to survive much more drastic winters than the Asian persimmon. The Asian persimmon sometimes is only hardy to about 0 degrees. So that's not really gonna be, you know, as beneficial if you live in a climate like me, even though I'm pushing it with the one I have. But if you live in more northern climates, you wanna be safe with it. I suggest going with an American persimmon, but I suggest even more to get a hybrid like this, the Nikitas Gift. Once these are ripe, the flavor, the sweetness, there's a reason they call it nectar of the gods, I think it's called, or honey of the gods. This thing is so sweet, so good, an incredible season extender. I planted this fruit tree about 3 or 4 years ago. That's typically how long they take until they start producing. But when you do put the trees in, you want to make sure you have a good, thick wood chip mulch down. That'll really, or any kind of organic matter mulch, that'll keep the weeds from suppressing any of the water or anything like that. When the trees have a lot of fruit like this one does, you want to make sure you keep up on the watering because these things hold a lot of water. So you don't want them to drop early or anything like that. When it comes to pests and disease, the persimmon trees are really pretty pest resistant and disease resistant. When the leaves are on the tree, like they have just fallen recently with the frost. When the leaves are on the tree though, they're very waxy. They've got this thick waxy coating on it. I think that helps to keep some of the bugs away. So there aren't too many issues. So you guys have noticed that if you can get good trees that are foundational, that don't have a lot of issues, this will really stabilize a good harvest for you. For instance, if you can get a couple persimmons in like this, and you've got the pawpaw tree in New Jersey, you're already giving yourself a great foundation of fruit to build off of. Then you could add some different kind of stuff, things that are harder to grow. When it comes to pruning your persimmon tree, it's not something you're really gonna have to do. They don't really actually even like pruning much. If you have branches going in directions that are gonna poke somebody or they could be dangerous, or if you have diseased or dead branches, make sure you remove those. But this isn't gonna be the tree that you're gonna wanna really shape and do a lot of pruning every year. Just kind of let it go naturally, as I have for this one, and it's gonna do real well for you. Now I do have a couple persimmons that I picked a couple days ago that I can try for you on film. So let's grab some of those, let's cut them open and see how they taste. And remember, when it comes to astringent persimmons like this, you're not really gonna be able to buy them in the store. You can buy the non-astringent hard ones, they'll sell those, the Fuyu ones, but you really aren't gonna be able to find these ones, the astringent ones, soft, ripe, and delicious, unless you grow them yourself, because they won't ship well, they won't store well. So another fruit that if you want it, you gotta grow it yourself. Okay, here we have a few persimmons. This is one that I picked a couple days ago. It's got a couple marks, but you can see how ripe it is. This is one that I just picked. So the color difference is way different. This has got like a more deeper red, almost like a purpling. And one way to know they're ripe is they're soft, almost like a tomato would be soft, squishy like that. You want them very squishy. If they're hard like this would be definitely astringent. So this is one that'll give you that chalky feeling that you don't want to eat. So here's a ripe one, and like we said, the calyx should come off when they're ripe. This one's still giving a little bit of a issue coming off, so it could be even riper than it is right now. But as you can see, as we cut into this guy, you can see it's like jelly. That's what you want to see. It's like a sweet jelly or jam. This is when the persimmons are delicious. This is when you're supposed to eat them. This is when they're ripe. This is when you're not going to get that astringency in them. This is what we've been waiting for a long time. So when you grow your own fruit trees, sometimes you have to wait years to be able to taste this. Man, it's like sweet honey. Let's take a bite of it and soak it in and just enjoy it. So sweet. It's crazy how sweet it is. No astringency, delicious. Literally like candy, like it tastes like it would be persimmon jelly. So much sugars, so very good. That's why I like picking them, letting a few of them ripen, leaving them on the tree, and then picking a few more, letting those ripen. This way we can eat them for as long as possible, because these won't store very long once they're ripe. Your other persimmons, your non-astringent ones, when you pick those will stay for a couple weeks, even if you leave them in the fridge too, even longer. These ones are not going to stay ripe for a long time because they're constantly, breaking down. But when they're at this stage, eat as many as you can, because there's nothing like it. One thing about the persimmons is when they're ripe, they get so sweet that draws in a lot of the critters and the birds. So you will have them get a few of them. Like this one looks like it got a little ripe. Someone wanted to come in and have a snack, but that's okay. We'll share some of them with the squirrels, the chipmunks, the birds, the bugs, as long as we're getting some for ourselves. So today what I'm gonna do is just grab a few of them, harvest them, and we're gonna cut them. We're not gonna rip them off because we don't wanna damage that calyx. So we'll find a few of them that are close to being ripe. Like as we see, this one's not very ripe. It's very lightly orange, but as we move up here, we've got some darker, deeper reds and oranges. So we'll harvest that one. This other one on the side here, and a few more, and then we'll let these ripen inside and eat them. And these other ones are still gonna be ripening on the tree. When the frost comes, which we just had recently, and it starts to get really cold, that's when they start to ripen nicely. So these ones look like nice, delicious ones, or they will be delicious when they're ripe. We'll bring those inside. And look at this white on the outside of them, that film. I think that helps keep the pests away also. So it's like this natural protection, which is fantastic. This is the kind of natural protection you don't see in stores. Same thing with cucumbers. They have those spikes on them and stuff. Sometimes this kind of things you don't notice unless you grow it yourself, because you've got to take it right off the tree. So no pesticides, no herbicides, no fungicides. It's a good feeling when you can eat it fresh off the tree. And when you're eating fruit from, what was it, early April, strawberries, all the way till November. So growing for as long as we can, harvesting, eating for as long as we can. Looks like Tuck found a persimmon, one of his own on the ground. He's having fun with it, and he can eat it, but I think he just wants to play. He thinks it's a ball. He's trying to bait me now. He's trying to bait me into come getting it. He's trying to chew on the stem, rip it off. We've got enough of them on there where we can allow Tuck to just have fun with one of them, play with it. That's the great thing about having a garden though. It's just like the cucumbers that we had. Tuck has these little balls and he likes playing with them, but they're really actually food. Sometimes he snacks on them. This one he's just biting. Again, trying to bait me because he wants me to play with them. He can make fun out of anything. It's not a real James Prigioni video unless Tuck is in here chewing on something, having fun, either digging a hole or just playing around in the garden. He's one of the main things that makes me smile every time I'm out here. Makes me enjoy myself and really take full advantage of the time we have, because Tuck can make fun again out of anything. Hey boy. I'm gonna spend some time chasing Tuck around now. We're gonna have some fun out here, try to warm up because it is a little chilly. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. And I hope you're encouraged to get a persimmon tree of your own into the ground, whether it be an Asian one or American one. Just get one in, get one growing so you can be eating it soon. So you can be eating the divine fruit. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share with your friends. Don't forget to check out the merch down low. Tuck and James will be back at you with another one real soon. We out.